Prestige VDL, ridden by Sheridyn Ashwood from Queensland. This horse was previously trained and competed to the FEI levels with none other than Edward Gale, and so this horse was then imported into New Zealand, and then from New Zealand Sheridyn bought him, I think maybe up to 2 years ago. So,
and isn't he a picture?
He is.
It's a special
stallion, beautiful stallion, really beautiful mover, elastic steps, and cut this one piaffe on his day.
Absolutely. And Sheridyn's done a really great job to make a partnership with this stallion so quickly. They've been really consistent performers, and I know she's very hopeful of being in that last few in the lead up to WEG. Very fluent across there. And certainly the balance is really nice. The pole's the highest point, the nose is on the vertical.
Yeah, it's really beautiful fluency, isn't there, in this, and beautiful frame and self-carriage. It's just delightful to watch. And as you said, Kerry, your big thing, and it's absolutely right with every judge and every person horse that's riding, is the rhythm. You know, it's really that steady, consistent rhythm that you don't have to worry about. I think maybe in the extended trotter could just be a little bit more ground cover, a little bit more purpose for the big marks. We're talking about, it's a beautiful horse and beautiful test, but if we're looking for the 8s and the 9s here from the judge, you've got to look at what we can improve, what we can see. Here we come into the piaffe. Now that's what you call piaffe, huh?
Yeah, really nice.
It's, when we talk about the 8s and 9s, this is how you develop an 8-9 piaffe, yeah?
Still creeping forward a tiny bit if you were being really picky.
Yes.
Started off really on the spot and she just allowed it forwards, and sometimes you have to do that to keep the energy there.
Good passage.
It's quite hard to stay right on the spot with that amount of energy.
Even from the front you have a feeling of purpose in the walk, deliberate steps. And now that transition that Kerry pointed out, when you pick up the reins and see the horse come back into a collected frame with no fuss, and the shortened steps, the shortened and heightened steps, and you can see just this here, still in a very correct sequence, where you want to see the hind foot up to the front foot before it leaves the ground.
These really experienced Grand Prix horses know their job, don't they? That he understands that transition really well. Walk to passage. And don't you get a sense of the elasticity throughout the whole body of this horse? His back just moving softly up and down. There's very little pressure in the reins here. He's in self-carriage, nicely balanced.
Nice transition. Little 10-mark pickup.
You can see Sheridyn prepare that and make sure she gets the right leg with that little bit of inside bending. It's the same with the Grand Prix horses when you're riding a 4-year-old. Bend and then do your transition to canter.
I had a feeling from the very beginning, Kerry, that there was a little bit of tension there that was encouraging maybe a little mistake. You have to, it's a feeling that you get, you can't explain it. But
a tiny bit choppy in some of those early steps.
I think he was threatening to do ones and she rode very well. Again, that could be just a little more reach with the front leg, but
perhaps a tiny bit straighter if you're really being fussy.
Yep, we are.
It's easy to be fussy when you're sitting out here.
It's so easy.
It's a great thing about commentating. You don't make any mistakes.
Well, beautiful elasticity in the strides and beautiful balance, and that's great, huh?
That's lovely,
it's really beautiful. Wow. Sheridyn's really putting this test together.
She's a very focused rider. She just brings one horse and concentrates on what she's doing.
1 10-piece. She's waited a long time to get them done, so you wonder if he's going to cover much ground, which he's not doing a bad job. Oh, was that 13?
13.
I think
Oh dear, I did that last time I was here. Missed the 14th,
We do that to interstate
14th
visitors,
one.
don't worry. Now the pirouettes where he can really sit. It started a little large. Better towards the end, but the first step's super change. Maybe caught us a bit right, Kerry.
Yeah, and the same into that pirouette.
Pretty nice.
Yeah,
This is looking pretty confident, huh?
it is.
Always the neck in a nice shape, not looking like he's being held together or pushed and pulled. It's really lovely. Whoops. Transition to trot. Maybe extend the trot.
See her really trying to get those last marks that she needs, that she wants to be at the top of the list.
Looks a little modest. Not quite passage-like enough.
Yeah, not as good as some of
No.
the earlier work that we've seen, perhaps.
And
There's that
here,
little problem
oh, now
with
he's
X
away.
again, and, yeah, then he's balanced, little half halt, and she's asking with the legs. Just a little more, one last effort just up this centre line. This is when you really want to look that judge at sea in the eye.
So now give me a
Dare
10.
them. That's right. A really good job.
That was a very good job. She should be very pleased. He stands very patiently.
Sheridyn Ashwood.